On December 14th, 2012, news came into my household that absolutely shook me to the core. Children and adults had been gunned down at Sandy Hook Elementary School, and days later, Ann Curry, a news reporter, texted something that soothed my desire to do something but not knowing what. She asked, what if we did 26 acts of kindness for each of the lives that were lost there? And this posed an interesting challenge to me. I'm Marianne Radmacher, and I write about living with intention and incorporating profound compassion and acts of kindness into your everyday life. So I already had a model that challenged me to be kind even when I didn't feel like it. So my commitment, in my own view, had to exceed that which was normal. And so I picked the adult that inspired me, whose story I came to understand more and more as the days progressed. Victoria, the first grade teacher who, in a compelling moment of crisis and danger, chose the grace and the ultimate sacrifice of protecting her children rather than saving her own life. Victoria was the name that I promised to whisper every time I committed an intentional, inconvenient, and undesirable act of kindness. An undesirable act of kindness? Isn't every act of kindness a desirable one? Well, no, it's not. So that meant, in very practical terms, that when I was walking my dog at the dog park and encountered the result of unattentive dog owners who didn't pick up after their pets, I whispered, Victoria, and I picked up after them as an inconvenient act of kindness. In a traffic situation where I was perfectly entitled to wag a finger, this kind of finger, and be upset with another driver, I whispered, Victoria, and extended an unnatural kindness. I did that 26 consecutive times, and I counted them. And every time I whispered Victoria, saying to myself, if a young woman with a life full of promise before her could, in that moment of press and danger, choose such a courageous act, I could probably pull an inconvenient kindness out of my pocket. And here's the unexpected habit that's emerged from those 26 disciplined, purposeful acts of kindness that I was called to through what became a national movement. It startled me when it happened 3 weeks ago. I was annoyed with something that had happened at my local post office. I was just flat out annoyed and on the cusp of doing something rather unkind. Unbidden, unaware, with no intention purposefully behind it, I whispered, Victoria, and was able to offer the inconvenient, the undesirable, the unnatural kindness. And Victoria has been following me every day since. So what an unexpected grace has visited my life from what was a national tragedy. And indeed, if a young woman can lay down her life for young children for whom she was responsible, I can pull out unconditionally loving, unexpected opportunities for kindness out of my everyday pocket. This is Mary Ann Radmacher, and I want to thank you for listening to my story about an unexpectedly formed habit. Be well.